Leviticus chapter 11, verses 1 to 46. I am reading from the New Revised Standard Version, the Green Bible. Verse 1, the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying to them, verse 2, speak to the people of Israel, saying, from among all the land animals, these are the creatures that you may eat. Verse 3, any animal that has divided hoofs and is cleft-footed and chews the cud, such you may eat. Verse 4, but among those that chew the cud or have divided hoofs, you shall not eat the following: camel, for even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hoofs, it is unclean for you. Verse 5, the rock badger, for even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hoofs, it is unclean for you. Verse 6, the hare, for even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hoofs, it is unclean for you. Verse 7, the pig, for even though it has divided hoofs and is cleft-footed, it does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. Verse 8, of their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall not touch. They are unclean for you. Verse 9, this you may eat of all that are in the waters, everything in the waters that has fins and scales, whether in the seas or in the streams, such you may eat. Verse 10, but anything in the seas or the streams that does not have fins and scales, of the swarming creatures in the waters and among all other living creatures that are in the waters, they are detestable to you. Verse 11, and detestable they shall remain. Of their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall regard as detestable. Verse 12, everything in the waters that does not have fins and scales, this is detestable to you. Verse 13, this you shall regard as detestable among birds. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, the vulture, the osprey. Verse 14, the buzzard, the kite, and any kind. Verse 15, every raven of any kind. Verse 16, the ostrich, the nighthawk, the seagull, the hawk of any kind. Verse 17, the little owl, the cormorant, the great owl. Verse 18, the water hen, the desert owl, the carrion vulture. Verse 19, the stork, the heron of any kind, the hopi, and the bat. Verse 20, the winged insects that walk upon all fours are detestable to you. But among the winged insects that walk on all fours, you may eat those have jointed legs upon their feet, with which to leap on the ground. Verse 22, of them you may eat the locust according to its kind, the bald locust according to its kind, the cricket according to its kind, the grasshopper according to its kind. Verse 23, but all other winged insects that have 4 feet are detestable to you. Verse 24, by those you shall become unclean. Whoever touches the carcass of any of them shall be unclean until the evening. Verse 25, and whoever carries any part of the carcass of any of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. Verse 26, every animal that has divided hoofs but is not cleft-footed or does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. Everyone who touches one of them shall be unclean. Verse 27, all that walk on their paws among the animals that walk on all fours are unclean for you. Whoever touches the carcass of any of them be unclean until the evening. Verse 28, and the one who carries the carcass shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean for you. Verse 29, these are the unclean for you among the creatures that swarm upon the earth: the weasel, the mouse, the great lizard according to its kind. Verse 30, the gecko, the land crocodile, the lizard, and the sun crocodile, and the chameleon. Verse 31, These are unclean for you among all that swarm. Whoever touches one of them when they are dead shall be unclean until the evening. Verse 32, and anything upon which any of them falls when they are dead shall be unclean, whether an article of wood or cloth or skin or sacking, any article that is used for any purpose, it shall be dipped into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening, and then it shall be clean. Verse 33, and if any of them falls into the earthen vessel, all that is in it shall be unclean, and you shall break the vessel. Verse 34, and the food that could be eaten shall be unclean if water from any such vessel comes upon it, and any liquid that could be drunk shall be unclean if it was in any such vessel. Verse 35, everything on which any part of the carcass falls shall be unclean, whether an oven or a stove, it shall be broken in pieces. They are unclean and shall remain unclean for you. Verse 36, but a spring or a cistern holding water shall be unclean, while whatever touches the carcass in it shall be unclean. Verse 37, if any part of their carcass falls upon the seed set aside for sowing, it is clean. Verse 38, but if water it is put on the seed and part of their carcass falls on it, it is unclean for you. Verse 39, if an animal of which you may eat dies, anyone who touches its carcass shall be unclean until the evening. Verse 40, those who ate of its carcass shall wash their clothes and be unclean until the evening, and those who carry the carcass shall wash their clothes and be unclean until the evening. Verse 41, all creatures that swarm upon the earth are detestable. They shall not be eaten. Verse 42, whatever moves on its belly, whatever moves on all fours, or whatever has many feet, all the creatures that swarm upon the earth, you shall not eat, for they are detestable. Verse 43, you shall not make yourselves detestable with any creature that swarms. You shall not defile yourselves with them, and so become unclean. Verse 44, for I am the Lord your God, sanctify yourselves therefore, and be holy, for I am holy. You shall not defile yourselves with a swarming creature that moves on the earth. Verse 45, for I am the Lord who brought you up from the land of Egypt to be your God. You shall be holy, for I am holy. Verse 46, this is the law pertaining to the land animal and bird and every living creature that moves through the waters and every creature that swarms upon the earth. Make a distinction between the unclean and the clean, and between the living creature that may be eaten and the living creature that may not be eaten. Leviticus chapter 11, verses 1 to 46. I am reading from the New Revised Standard Version, the Green Bible.